I'm sure you've seen those old diet ads, either on TV or the internet or in magazines. It usually has two pictures. On the left side is a dark, grainy photo. It's of a man who's clearly overweight. He looks miserable. Let's call him Michael. And underneath the picture says, "This is Michael at 325 pounds." On the right side is a full, vibrant color picture. Michael's standing there happy. Clearly he's lost weight. He's got maybe even a beautiful woman on his arms. And underneath it says, "Here's Michael, 195 pounds." Now, if you're a person who is interested in losing weight and you see those two pictures, what is the first question that comes to mind? How? How did he do it? I want that result. Now, why am I talking about diet ads? Because there's a formula that these companies have used for years that creates curiosity. And curiosity is one of the keys. It is an overriding factor in the best stories. If you want to capture people's attention and keep them interested throughout, curiosity is an important part of your stories. When we use this concept in storytelling, especially in business storytelling, we call it the then, now, and how formula. It works identically to those diet ads. We tell a before picture of someone who was in what I call distress, someone who is really struggling with an issue. Then we show that person today feeling much better, being better off, and that creates curiosity so that the client or the prospective client will ask you, how? What did that person do? I'd like that same result. Can you help me? It's all meant to develop deeper interest in what you do. So here's a quick example. This is a story that's legendary amongst all my speech coaching clients. It's my client, Patty. If you've seen me speak before, or you've seen some of my other videos or read my books, you've heard the story. Here's the shortened version. When I met Patty, she was in great distress. We were both working on a committee together, and she approached me at one of our meetings and said, "I understand you're a speech coach. Can you help me?" Slightly exaggerated. And I said, "Well, I don't know. What's going on?" And she said, "Michael, I've got a big speech coming up, and I'm so worried about it because I don't want to embarrass myself or our foundation. This is a huge opportunity for the foundation, and if I get this right, it can make a huge impact. But I'm losing sleep. I'm feeling sick to my stomach. It's really stressing me out." Now that's the before picture. That's how she was when I met her. Now the interesting part to her story is I later found out, she said, I asked her, I said, "Patty, well, when is this speech, by the way?" And she said, "It's scheduled for 11 months from now." Wow, think about that. She had 11 months to get more stressed out, more anxious, even more sick to her stomach. All that was just going to build. Now, I have a question for you. If you've never met me before, never heard me speak, read any of my information, none of that, and I told you that story, and you also were in the market for a speech coach, or you just wanted to become a better public speaker, would you be willing to talk with me further based on that story alone? Every time I ask this question of an audience or to people one-on-one, they always say yes. And my follow-up question is, why? Why would you be willing to talk to someone who you know nothing about his background, you don't know his fee structure, you don't know his process, you may not know anybody he's worked with other than Patty in the store. You know none of that, but you're willing to talk with me further? How is that? And they always say, because you told a story that's compelling, it's of interest, and I want the same result Patty got. Bingo, magic formula. I've created curiosity with a simple, true story of someone who had success. A critical aspect of the then, now, and how formula is that there has to be great contrast between the then and the now for people to emotionally buy into your story. Now, think about Patty. She was in great distress. She was losing sleep. She was getting sick to her stomach. And she also had to think about this for 11 months, nearly a year. It was only going to get worse. So as far as public speaking goes, that's about as bad as it gets. In the now part, what was the result she got? She had people giving her money and checks. She got a standing ovation. But more importantly, she couldn't wait to do this again. What a huge difference. A year before, she was looking at all this stress and anxiety, all this negativity, and now she's positive and wants to do it again. That's a great contrast. That's a gap that people want to bridge. So when you have a person who's interested in what you do, the results you provide, the then, now, and how can create curiosity so they want to keep the conversation going. Now, I know I didn't get into the now part of this formula, and I'm not going to in this video. The purpose here is to create the curiosity with the difference between the then and the now, and eventually you'll get into the how. That's when you get deeper into the sales process. But for right now, grab their curiosity and you will keep the conversation going. I look forward to talking with you in our next tip.